it's changed because in Germany everything is regulated, everything is written down. So, and here you can be more free. You can do whatever you want. There are certain frames, but within the frame, you're totally free to do that, what you want. And in Germany, that doesn't is like it's not like that. And it's not that my family in Germany doesn't like it; they accept it, but for a lot of them, it would be hard to accept it for them. They are
Yeah.
okay if it's okay for me. They're okay with it, but so they're pretty liberal about that, which is in pretty much in Germany, as long as it doesn't have a ginormous impact, just do what you want.
They're pretty tolerant about things.
Pretty tolerant, yes.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't negatively impact
Exactly,
them.
yeah.
Right.
So if as long as you doesn't shove it down their throat, if it's good for you, do what you want.
Yeah, right. Okay. And we've kind of already talked about gender roles in culture that like as far as women have to do this, men have to do this. It's not like that in Germany.
It was in the 50s and 60s maybe, but now it's pretty relaxed.
A lot more equal. Anybody
Yeah.
can do anything they want to
Yes,
do.
yes.
And I think we're trying to get there too.
Well, yeah, the thing is that I think here in America some stuff is exaggerated, and it's getting like puffed up more than it's need to be. And in Germany we say, well, just accept it, you
Yeah,
know.
right.
So we're more acceptable because we're used to obey rules. And when you're used to obey rules, you're much more open to accept changes.
Okay.
And that's why I think, well, okay, if he wants to stay home and work and she wants to work, if she's the better earner, if she gets more on her job,
Yeah,
then
if
why
she's paid
shouldn't?
more.
Yeah, then she can go work and he stays at home,
Right.
for example. And that typical man role, it depends on whoever does the better job will do the job.
Yeah.
So if the man cooks better, the woman shouldn't cook because
Right.
it's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Let the
The-
guy cook.
Yes.
Right. Well, I think there's a particular piece of our society who are very traditionalist, and certain fights are kept alive just so we can say we're fighting about something. It
Yeah.
seems like,
Yeah.
what it feels like being in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of things aren't a big deal. They
It
just
could be that there is something like that in Germany, but since you've grown up to take stuff, this is how it's been done, you don't realize it.
yeah.
And you might, yeah, it might be that in my family it was everything like, okay, if you want to do it, yeah.
Yeah, just more whatever.
Exactly,
Whatever.
yeah.
Whatever.
As long as you do it right, and as long as you do it good. So, for example, we weren't, as kids, we weren't supposed to play with dolls. My father had a trucking business, and my sister, for example, loved housework. I wanted to paint the nuts and bolts and the rims of the trucks, and work with my father on the trucks and build stuff with my father. My sister was more with my mom, the household stuff. So we weren't pushed into a role. As long as you do what you do good, then it's okay.
Whatever you're good at, whatever you enjoy,
Yes.
as long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
And you have to be good at it. If you suck at it, then no, you have to do something else.
Okay, and they'll
Yeah.
tell you too.
They
like,
tell you, and you have
you
to
may
obey.
enjoy it, but you're terrible at it. So
Exactly.
stop.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be pretty refreshing to be around, I think. This will be an interesting one. What religious or spiritual beliefs are influential in your culture and for your family in particular? Were they
Christians.
okay?
In Germany, you have Catholics and
Protestants. Yeah.
which is the Lutheran stuff. There are, when I was a kid, there were some Witness of Jehovah and New Apostolics, but that was pretty much,
Like a fringe kind of thing.
yeah, that was the only thing you would know about.
Yeah.
And everything else is either this or that. and so Muslim wasn't been talking about, so we knew that it was there. And if we had some, I mean, we had a lot of Turks coming in, so a
But
lot,
Turkey is
Turks
a
are Muslim.
secular nation. It's majority Muslim, but the
Yeah.
government is secular, right? It's not like a theocracy like Saudi Arabia.
yeah.
So you might expect them to be more.
No, they just have their, okay, they have their prayer time, which sometimes sucks with their work time.
Yeah.
So they have to either don't do it if they want to work there, or if they're allowed to do it, they have to get consent of the co-workers because it takes away time of their work.
Yeah, and they need a room and like
Exactly.
private space.
I mean, some people went to the bathroom and did it. Okay, well, is it okay if I do it? Sure. But if it says if you work in a job where you cannot go away and do that for that, I'm sorry, you have to either don't do it or look for another job.
Right.
So there is no rule bending depending on what job you do.
I think that's
So,
reasonable.
yeah. So I mean, but they were much assimilated. They did their religion, but they kept the religion to them. And like I said, if as long as you don't interfere with our living, you can have your culture.
Right.
You
Nobody
can,
will judge
yeah.
you for. Yeah.
You can not your culture. You can have your religion.
Yeah. Because we all have, a
Yeah.
culture. Right.
If you want to come to Germany, you have to accept the German rules.
right.
You can do your stuff in private, but don't shove it down our throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a interesting one. And this is one we talked a little bit about before the interview. We said, "What are your family beliefs around child rearing and discipline?"
Okay.
Right.
Discipline. That's the word, discipline. You have to, you have to be disciplined as a child. You have to obey what your dad's or your mom is telling you. And for example, tiny things. I was under 10, around 10. I was having a little bit of cold. My mom said not to go out. I was having a gypsy skirt. I wanted to show off my gypsy skirt. I went outside. My mom and my sister came home, found me. They were super friendly. We went home and my mom said, "Okay, here comes your punishment." My dad came and said, "I'm gonna do that." He came down the stairs with a belt in his hand. So, oh God, I knew it. I knew it.
You knew what was coming.
I knew what was coming, and he spanked me with a belt over his knee. One time in my life. It never happened again because I never broke the rule again.
Right.
I was skipping school. And I came home and my sister found me. And she said, "You better come home, Daddy's in the car looking for you." And he's got the cane with him.
Oh goodness.
So I was home before my dad. He didn't spank me with it, but he wouldn't talk for me for over a week. That was much more punishment. So you get one good beating one time.
And that shuts all that down.
Exactly. You never do it again.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they never had to even threaten me with anything else because
There's lines here.
there's lines and you're not crossing these lines and everything is fine. I mean, love and hugs and kisses
Right.
as long as you don't cross that line. And that is in Germany, that is very important. Discipline and obey whoever is in charge, if it's your mom or your dad or your grandma. As long as it could even be teachers, as long as it's whoever is in charge wherever you are. If it's on summer camp, which we don't have, we have other stuff but if it's in church or if it's in school, if it's a visit at your friends, it's their parents who are in charge.
Right. Whatever setting you're in,
Yes.
you listen to the adult who's in charge.
Exactly, yeah. And that's as a kid. And then as a juvenile or young person, you listen to the boss or to your supervisor. So the learning and the obeying of whoever is in charge, the acceptance of that is very important. And if you don't do that, you are very fast in trouble. You get kicked out of your job, you get reprimands or stuff. So the consequences are very fast and prompt.
Yeah.
Not always severe, but they could change your life because you could lose your job.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you cannot do
Whatever
whatever you